Democracy warriors. Most Americans are okay with waiting until the 2026 election to voice their displeasure at the ballot box. Donald Trump is trying to prevent tens of millions of eligible voters from casting their ballots. Across the country, Republicans are moving to restrict voter registration, early voting, vote by mail, eliminating no excuse and same-day voter registration, increasing voter ID requirements, and eliminating the use of drop boxes and much more. They are trying to pass the SAVE Act, which will make it more difficult for women to vote whose last names don't align with the name on their birth certificates. Got married and changed your last name? You'd better bring your birth certificate, marriage certificates, and your divorce or annulment papers with you to the polls. Several months ago, Trump signed an executive order requiring proof of citizenship for voter registration, mandating that ballots must be received by election day and withdrawing federal funds from non-compliant states. It remains to be seen whether this order is legal, but do you really want to count on this Supreme Court to stand up for your rights?
No.
Hell no, right on, lady. Let's not forget that Texas gerrymandered new congressional maps to create more Republican districts per orders from Trump. Know that Florida and other red states will soon follow their lead. Just on Truth Social, on August 30th, Trump said voter ID must be part of every single vote, no exceptions. I will be doing an executive order to that end. Also, no mail-in voting except for those who are very ill and the faraway military.
The guy who mails in voting.
Huh?
He does mail in voting.
Yeah, and what he doesn't seem to realize is he won because of mail-in voting. He's got more of the old farts like us, but not like us, than we do.
Hey, we have some youngins here.
That's why he doesn't want mail-in voting anymore.
These changes are designed to make it much more difficult for women, people of color, and other traditionally blue constituencies to vote. Sorry.
That's a hard one.
So don't count on 2026 to save our country. We're no longer a functioning democracy where everyone's voice is equal. So why is it that Americans are not taking to the street in higher numbers? Here in the United States, Americans are conditioned to believe that the Constitution will save us. We don't engage in mass uprisings because we've been taught to respect the rule of law. This is what makes the United States different. But it's also what makes this moment so very dangerous. We have a president who's a convicted criminal who has never respected the rule of law and who has surrounded himself with people who do not respect it either. We have a traitorous legislative branch that has supported Trump's every whim, and we have a Supreme Court that has taken an expansive view of executive power, showing that they support those behind Project 2025 over our Constitution. Because we have been conditioned to believe that the law will stop lawlessness, we are walking like zombies into a catastrophic takeover of our precious USA. The Constitution is just a piece of paper, nothing more. It's only powerful when the people in charge abide by it. But we are in uncharted territory today, governed by people in all three branches of government who do not believe that it is sacrosanct and who pervert it to suit their political means. Meanwhile, for almost 250 years, Americans have believed in the rule of law so faithfully that we cannot contemplate what happens when it disappears. Younger nations, or those with histories of dictatorship and autocracy, know better, which is why they are quicker to take action to preserve their democracies. In many ways, our allegiance to the Constitution has lulled us into a false sense of security, one that is slipping away. I have spoken with many, asking just how far they would go to protect our rights and freedoms. Would they join millions to march on Washington if need be? Truthfully, I was shocked at many of the answers. Some said that they will only come out when there's a national protest. Others say that they will express themselves by voting. And that is the most they can do because, well, life just gets in the way. Or maybe they're too afraid to come out to protest. If the Democrats plan to out-gerrymander the Republicans' work, and we win both the House and the Senate, then we will have the power to undo just about everything that this administration has done to us. But what if we don't get a fair election? Or even any election in 2026? Then what are you willing to do? The majority of those who were asked about marching on Washington said that's just a bridge too far. A bridge too far? So a complete theft of our rights and freedoms is just not worth the trouble to fight against? Hell no. Are we pussies or are we Americans?
Americans!
Our forefathers would be turning over in their graves when all they fought for turns into dust. So why do I still have hope? Because there were also many of you who said that you will be marching into Washington, D.C. to show up, stand up, speak up for your rights and the rights of all people. Assuming that we have an election in 2026, please keep checking your voter registration to make sure you are registered properly. They keep changing it up. 1 minute you're on the voter rolls, the next minute your name has disappeared. Also, make sure you have all the necessary documents to prove who you are, especially women who are married or are still using their married names. Get your vote by mail ballots if they're still legal by then, even if you want to vote in person. Just bring the vote by mail ballot with you if you go there in person and give it to them. We need to play their game while they have control. Here's my little short poem for people who have second thoughts about showing up, standing up, or speaking up. Go ahead and drink your beers. Forget about your future tears. Gone will be all your rights because you didn't join in the fights. Elections in the USA will become just a memory. Why? Because you repeated Germany's history. Get off your asses and join the masses. The end.
Woohoo!